So what is exactly going on in the economy today? And what is going on with real estate and housing and mortgages? These are things that affect people every day. And to help clear this up, my good friend joining us now, Mark Livingstone from Cornerstone First Financial. By the way, Mark has been a founding advertiser and sponsor of the John Fredericks Show, and we appreciate it. Hey, Mark, good to have you with us, man.
How are you?
I tell you what, never better, and I know that you're up there fighting the good fight every day.
That's right. And I'm listening to you talk about the Washington Post. You know what we call the Washington Post up here, right?
What?
The Washington Compost.
They're just, it is so ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to get dishonest reporting, Trump has got every right in order to say, you know what? I'm simply going to revoke the privilege of you getting media credentials of my events. And he's got every right to do that.
Absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned. Now, Mark, I got to get an update here because we got to get off this and onto things that are affecting everybody in everyday's life. The Fed still not raising rates. They're lowest in another 3.5 years. But, Mark, we all know this is a bubble that is going to burst. What happens now?
We're right on the heels of Janet Yellen coming out yesterday, John. And after weeks of talking up the economy, she could not have been more dovish, downgrading the economy, the labor market, productivity, and the forecast for future rate hikes. You know, last December when you and I were speaking, Janet Yellen had just indicated that in 2016 we would definitely, 4 rate hikes were imminent in 2016. Well, now, after all this talk, they have said that rates are going to remain the same, and what this has done is pushed the interest rates down to the lowest level in 3.5 years. We haven't seen rates like this, John, since 2012. Late 2012 was the last time we had rates this low, and it's just incredible. I have mattresses in the office so loan officers can stay in to take all the listeners' calls because everybody's trying to take advantage of these wonderful rates. Now, Janet Yellen did leave open the window that there could be 2 more rate hikes in 2016. I think she has to do that. They're saying that they want to keep inflation in check, but realistically, being completely transparent, I don't see it happening this year. I think right now is the best opportunity that we have seen since I've come on your show. I think that rate hikes will not happen in 2016. It's just with everything going on out there, both overseas and here, whether it's the German rates dropping, whether it's, the European Union decision coming up, that's overseas. But here we have, unemployment. Unemployment rate has declined. However, the job gains have diminished. And all of this, there's always something going on, has dropped these rates. So it's just an incredible time. What does it mean for your listeners, John? Well, for example, we have picked up a ton of momentum, and we're getting a lot of your callers, calling in to take advantage of these rates. For example, in Roanoke, we just had a customer last week, John, who we were able to refinance their loan. They took out their loan 2.5 years ago, so they had 27.5 years left on their mortgage. We dropped them to a 20-year loan, dropped the interest rate. Their monthly payment stayed the same. However, they're taking 7.5 years off of the life of their mortgage, which is 90 months, saving them $125,000 by shaving off those 7.5 years and lowering their interest rate and lowering the term. If we're talking saving money, we have one guy in Hampton Roads who called in after our last interview about a month ago, John. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready to close him this week, and he is a veteran, and we're able to give him $40,000 cash out, lower his interest rate, and his mortgage payment is staying the exact same also, but he's taking $40,000 cash out to pay off credit cards. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right?
No-brainer. Absolutely. Now, here's all you have to do. If you're in the market right now, you're looking for a mortgage, or you want to refi, or maybe you want to investigate one of the VA opportunities out there if you're a veteran, or if you're looking at a reverse mortgage, here's what you do right now. Call Mark Livingstone, his loan officer, standing by, 866-625-1221, 866-625-1221, or if you prefer online, cornerstonefirst.com. It is that easy. I've had so many of my callers tell me recently the money they've saved. Now, this is the other thing. Go to your bank, go to your favorite lender, get all the info. Doesn't matter. Before you sign on the dotted line, call Mark Livingstone, 866-625-1221. a lot of times you're going to get a better deal. If you've been rejected, you're like, why did I get rejected? Well, you got a ding here or ding there because of the recession in 2008. We've all got that. Call him up because he's got access to people your traditional banks don't have. 866-625-1221. Now, I want to talk about housing appreciation in Virginia. I know you've got great knowledge on that. Give us an update.
Well, that's a great thing, John. We're seeing housing appreciation in Virginia, Southern Virginia, your listening area. We have Chesapeake, Virginia, which has just in the last year gone up 4%, but in the last 12 years gone up 19%. We have Richmond, Virginia, in the last year gone up 5.2%. In the last 10 years, they've gone up 14%. So what this means to the listeners is that the houses are appreciating. So if you have what's called the PMI or the monthly mortgage insurance, whether it's because you didn't put down 20% or because you have an FHA loan, at least give us a call. We will run comps on your property at no cost. We'll see what the value is of your home, and you may be able to not only take advantage of these low rates, but because your home has appreciated, you then can eliminate the PMI, which is a waste of money anyway. It's not tax deductible. It doesn't insure you, the homeowner. It's insuring the mortgage company in case you were to default on the loan. So it's a great opportunity. So it's a perfect storm. You have the low interest rates. You have the house appreciation in Virginia, actually all over the country, but specifically in your listening areas, John. And so therefore the listeners can take advantage twofold of getting eliminated in the PMI because of the appreciation and taking advantage of the low interest rates.
Now, what about, I want you to clarify something, Mark Livingstone, veterans loans and what is available right now. I know we spent a lot of time on the VAIRRLS. People say, like, that's another acronym. What does that mean? That's like that's like the longest acronym ever.
Right, that's the VA Interest Rate Reduction Refinance Loan, or the VA IRRL. And what that is it offers the opportunity to those veterans that already have a VA loan. It's like a VA streamline. So it allows them to, it doesn't matter what the house is worth. So even if they are underwater, they might live in a pocket where there's been depreciation. And if they do, then it doesn't matter what the house is worth. They can refinance into a new VA loan and take advantage of these really low rates. So rates on the VA loans right now, John, are 3.25%, and that's with us paying your closing costs. That's huge. So the VA IRRL is giving them an opportunity to refinance to a streamlined loan, and then you also have the 100% cash out VA loan, like I was just speaking about the gentleman down in Richmond, or I'm sorry, Hampton Roads, the veteran. 3.25%, we're paying all his closing costs, and he's going to 100% of the value of his home. Most banks and lending institutions do not offer that, and we'll go to 100% of the value of the home cash out, and we'll go down to a 580 credit score. You know, banks up here don't go below a 640. So I have a lot of friends at different banks up here in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia that say, hey, Mark, we have a customer, a great guy, but he's got a 620 credit score, and we don't go below a 640. So that is a lot of our business up here is what I call bank fallout, because I say if we can't do it, nobody can, because of our plethora of products.
Now, does that change if, say, somebody's got a 585, right, and they get rejected by their bank, and they come to Mark Livingstone, they go to cornerstonefirst.com, or they call 866-625-1221, 866-625-1221, and they say, look, I got a 585, I got rejected from my bank, can you help me? And you're saying you're able to do that. Is that going to affect their interest rate?
The only thing it will affect, it could, yes. So 3.25% is on the VA. That's with a above 620 score. But if they have a 585, like I said, we still have products that can help them, and the rate increase is just nominal for the lower credit score. So while we go to a 5 down to a 580 credit score, it could have a little bit of an impact. But if there are other circumstances that could play into it to make them a stronger customer, stronger borrower, then no, it would not impact the interest rate.
Now,
it's just there's so many different guidelines and so many different products available. It's really important to have somebody that's knowledgeable and somebody that has all the products. If you just go to ABC Bank on Main Street, they're only going to have ABC Bank's products.
Right.
What I pride myself in is that we're not just a mortgage lender with our own money. We're a mortgage broker. So if we can't get something done for one of your listeners, then we will be able to outsource it to somebody that can.
Now, you also offer, Mark, rate renegotiation. Just spend a minute on that.
Well, back in the old days, it was called a float down. Nowadays, most lenders lock you in, and then you don't have the ability in a market where the interest rates are fluctuating so much to get a lower rate if they drop. We offer the best rate renegotiation policy in the industry, bar none. That if we lock you in and then the rates drop, guess who's getting the better rate? If rates get better, your rates get better. So it's just not something that I've seen out there a lot, and it's something that I'm very happy that we can offer. And it just, again, gives us a leg up on the competition because it also allows the customers that we have to get the best possible rate.
Now, Mark, you're also adding staff in Southeast and Southwest Virginia, right?
That's right. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So we are looking for loan officers down there in Southern Virginia and in your listening area to just help with the incoming calls that we've received. If there's a licensed loan officer who's looking to make a switch and wants to have a personal confidential interview with me, call me personally up at Cornerstone First Financial. Love to talk to you. We're expanding. The old adage is healthy things grow. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Now,
and we are growing, and it's just an exciting time in the industry and up here at Cornerstone First.
It really is. Now, let me give you the number again, 866-625-1221. It's going to be the best call you ever make if you're looking for a mortgage refi. You've been negotiating with your bank, 866-625-1221, online, cornerstonefirst.com, cornerstonefirst.com. My friend Mark Livingstone, who, by the way, has been a founding sponsor of us. He's been with us since day one, and I want to thank him for his time today. And, Mark, I've gotten so much feedback from so many of our listeners. They've called you up, and then they've texted or called me and said, wow, the guys are phenomenal at Cornerstone First, or just go to cornerstonefirst.com. Mark, thanks for being with us. Keep fighting, man.
It's my pleasure, brother.
All right, keep
fighting. Have a great
fighting.
morning, John. Great talking to you.
We will. Always good to have Mark Livingstone on. This guy is a genius in refi and mortgages. 866-625-1221, cornerstonefirst.com.